Hey guys, so today I'm going to show you how to change the speakers with a crank window on a 1997 to 2004 Ford F-150. First, we're going to go over what tools you will need to complete the job. A medium-sized Phillip head screwdriver, a 6mm socket with a wrench or screwdriver attachment, a pair of wire crimpers, a pair of wire cutters / stripper combo, a Torx 20 screwdriver. I don't use these, but they are recommended. It is a Ford regular speaker connector to universal speaker connector adapter. You will need butt connectors if you are not using the adapters. Use the red ones because they are the better size. So the first step you're going to want to do is take off the pillar on the window. You just pull it out and you got to give it a little tug, so don't be afraid if it's going to break anything, it won't. For the crank handle, you're going to want to stick your screwdriver in between like this little plastic ring and the handle itself and just pry. It has a flipping mechanism where the screw is instead of like having a ring where you just pop it out and pull it. Once you're done prying, you can flip the like crank part that you popped out, and that's where the screw is. All right, now you're going to use your Torx 20 screwdriver or screwdriver bit, and you're just going to want to unscrew the bolt that's inside the crank. Sometimes when the bolt's all the way like unscrewed, it can be a little tough to pull it out. So make sure you like wiggle it a bit. Um, you're not going to break anything, and if you do, on like the very off chance, it's very easy to replace. All right, now we're going to take our Phillips head screwdriver and unscrew the screw that was under the door pillar that we pulled off on the first step. All right, now we're going to use our flathead screwdriver to pry off the door handle cover. Be careful that you don't like scratch anything if that's what you care about. For me, it's an old truck, so I'm not really worried about that. Just keep that in mind. Now we're using our Phillips head screwdriver to unscrew the screw that is under the door handle cover, and then we'll be able to pull the panel off. Now you just lift your door panel up off of the door, give it a good tug. It's not gonna come off like easily, so just you gotta really pull. Okay, so now we're using our 6mm socket to unscrew the bolts that are on the speaker. There's 4 of them per speaker. Alright, now it's time to remove the speaker from the door. Just pull it out and take off the plug and just set it somewhere. You could, if you have a XL version of the truck, install these speakers in the back because they have the same wiring, and the XLs didn't come with rear speakers, but they do come with the wiring for it. So now you're going to want to cut the connector off if you're using the butt connectors. If you're just using the adapters, just skip this step. Now you're going to use your wire stripper on the third setting, third measurement, and you're going to strip the wires. You're going to press down and just pull the rubber off of the copper. All right, now you're going to want to figure out the polarity of the speaker wires that come with your speaker and the wiring of your truck. As you can see, gray and light blue is the plus for the driver's side, so we're going to match that with the plus on the speaker wire.
Gray is plus, black lined is minus, white is plus, black lined is minus. It tells you which one. So we got gray is the right speaker, white is the left speaker. All right, now you're just going to crimp these two as well with your crimping tool.
Now you're going to want to crimp each wire together, plus and plus, minus and minus, based on the diagram. It was really hard to show on video, so I didn't get it captured. But if you guys really need to know how to do that, I would recommend looking up a tutorial. Alright, now we're going to want to connect the speaker wires to the actual speaker itself. The bigger connector is going to be your plus, the smaller one is always going to be your minus, and they just plug in to the big socket is the big one, small socket is the small one. Now you're going to want to take your 6mm socket and screw back in your bolts. I ran into an issue with mine where only 2 of the bolts would fit, so I used the screws that came with the speakers for the other 2 sockets, which worked fine. Just be aware that that might be an issue for you. All right, now you're gonna put your door panel back on. Just lift it up. There's like little sockets where the clips on the port panel itself goes in. You just push it down. Make sure you get the lock through the lock hole, or else that'll not work. Then you're just going to want to put your screws back in, the pillar plastic bit back in, screws back in, handle back on. Basically, just in reverse how we took the door apart. Really self-explanatory. And if this video helped you guys out, make sure to subscribe. Leave a comment if there's anything else you guys want me to make based on, like, the 10th gen F150. And yep, that's about it. I'll see you guys in the next one.